Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Raja Umar on my channel RU Speaks. Raja Umar speaks for you for the subjects of Pakistan studies and global perspectives. And both components of Pakistan studies are discussed over here, history and geography. And these days we are talking about history. We were towards the end of the section 2 up to 1947, and we had done all those questions or those topics up to the 3rd June plan of 1947. Now, the important thing is now we are supposed to talk about the 4 marks questions from 1939 to 1947. First of all, a reminder, do not forget to subscribe my channel RU Speaks, as Raja Umar speaks for you people only, for your better learning and for your better growth towards Pakistan studies and global perspectives. So, moving on to the topic, here we have the 4 marks questions, and they are from 1939 to 1947, and we will discuss them. As I told you, as per the marking scheme, you are supposed to put in 4 points for each question to attain 4 marks. So this is the question which is related to the point marking. In the same way, if that question comes as your compulsory question of 3 marks, then you are supposed to put in 3 points for that to explain or to respond to that question. So what led to the resignation of Congress ministries in 1939? As we have already studied that in 1939, the Congress governments which were established over there in 1937, elections, and as per the new constitution of the subcontinent, that is the Government of India Act 1935. So those ministries, they resigned just after 2 years. And what were the reasons, that what were the causes that these ministries resigned? The Congress ministries resigned when Britain declared war on Germany without consulting Indian leaders. So this is point number 1. As you know that the Indian leadership was not taken in confidence, or they were not on board regarding the decision of the British government to jump into the World War II. Congress was upset that India was made part of the war effort without Indians' approval. As you know that with the passage of time, what would might happen, that the not the Germans but the Japanese, they might be approaching towards the subcontinent, making the subcontinent a war zone. So the Indians, they were not consulted by the British government. So this was a sort of threat, a threat of fear for the Indians, that they were not taken the part of the decision making. So that's why the Congress resigned. They demanded full independence and a guarantee of Indian control over future constitutional development. That was, you can say, the tactic by Congress to pressurize the British government further, so that the British government, which was already over there in that war, must be pressurized over here, so that the British government, or the British, they leave India, giving the full control to the Congress and the Hindus. So that was the tactic, or you may say the blackmailing tactic by Congress over there at that time. So this was the point number 3. So the Congress ministries resigned when Britain declared war on Germany without consulting Indian leaders. Point number 1, Congress was upset that India was made part of the war effort without Indian approval. This was point number 2. And they demanded full independence and a guarantee of Indian control over future constitutional development. Point number 3, the British government refused to meet these demands, leading to their resignation. This is point number 4. So these are the 4 points mentioned for this particular question regarding the resignation of the Congress ministries in 1939. So you will be awarded 4 marks if you write these 4 points. Then, what was decided in the Lahore Resolution in 1940? The Lahore Resolution stated that Muslims in India were a separate nation and should have independent states in Muslim majority areas. It rejected the idea of a united India as unsuitable for protection and protecting Muslim rights and interests. The resolution emphasized the need for political safeguards of religious and cultural rights of all the minorities, not only the Muslims. It laid the basis for the demand of Pakistan. This is what we this particular resolution moved whole of the Muslims movement in the subcontinent towards independence and achieving Pakistan. So again, you might be seeing that there are 4 points. Point number one is this one. Point number two is this one. Point number three is this one. And point number four is this one. So it means that for each 4 marks question, you are supposed to put in 4 points. Who were the members of the Krebs mission and what did they propose in 1942? So this question is related to Krebs mission. The Krebs mission was led by Sir Stafford Cripps, a British cabinet member sent to gain Indian support during World War II, as these were the war years. It proposed dominion status for India after the war and allowed provinces the option to opt out of the future union. It offered the formation of a constituent assembly, partly elected by Indians. However, it did not accept the Muslim League's demand of a separate state, Pakistan. So again, 4 points are there. The Cripps mission was led by Sir Stafford Cripps, a British cabinet member sent to gain Indian support during World War II. This was point number one. It proposed dominion status for India after the war and allowed provinces the option to opt out of the future union. Point number two. It offered the formation of a constituent assembly, partly elected by Indians. Number three. And however, it did not accept the Muslim League's demand for a separate state, Pakistan. So point number four. Again, 4 points are there. What was the Quit India movement of 1942? The Quit India movement was a mass civil disobedience campaign launched by Indian National Congress, the Hindus party, against British rule. It began, and up to this point number one, it began after the failure of the Cripps mission and demanded immediate British withdrawal from India. Point number two, Gandhi gave the slogan, do or die, to inspire the resistance or to gear up the resistance. Point number three, the British responded with mass arrests and banned the Congress party, yet protests spread widely. Point number four. So again, this was a question to be attempted like this. What were the main points of the Cabinet Mission Plan of 1946? The Cabinet Mission Plan aimed to keep India united with a weak central government handling only foreign affairs, defense, and communication. Proposed by Cabinet Mission. Point number one. It proposed 3 groups of provinces with regional autonomy. Point number two. A constituent assembly would be formed to draft the new constitution of the subcontinent. Point number three. The plan rejected the demand for Pakistan but recognized the need for protecting minority rights. Point number four. So again, it went against the demand of Muslim League establishing Pakistan. So Muslim League rejected this plan as well. Describe the events and impact of Direct Action Day in 1946. Direct Action Day was organized by Muslim League to demand a separate Muslim homeland after rejecting the Cabinet Mission Plan. Point number one. It took place on 16th of August 1946 and led to widespread communal riots in Calcutta. So point number two. Having another point over that, you have given the date as well and what were the impact of that one. So it means that you might be given two marks for this sentence as it contains information related to 2 points. Thousands were killed and violence spread to other parts of India. Point number three. The event deepened Hindu-Muslim divisions and showed that coexistence in a united India was unlikely. So point number four. What were the reactions of the Muslim League on the resignation of Congress ministries in 1939? Again, going back to 1939, this question should be up over there with the resignation of Congress ministries. The Muslim League celebrated the resignations of Congress ministries as Day of Deliverance on 22nd of December 1939. So one thing that you have mentioned the Day of Deliverance. Number two, you have given the date and year as well. Point number one. They felt relieved from Congress imposed Hindu domination. Point number two, the event gave the League an opportunity to present itself as the true representative of Muslims. Point number three, it also strengthened their call for separate Muslim political rights. Point number four. So again, this question can be responded like this. Who was Chaudhry Rahmat Ali and what was his contribution to the Pakistan movement? Chaudhry Rahmat Ali was a Cambridge student and early supporter of Muslim separatism. He coined the term Pakistan in 1933 in his pamphlet Now or Never. His vision included a separate homeland for Muslims of the northwestern region of India. Though not a political leader, his idea inspired future demand for Pakistan. So, again, 4 points are there. Point number one is over here. Point number two is this one. Point number three and point number four. So, telling about the contributions of Chaudhry Rahmat Ali. Describe the importance of Pakistan resolution in the independence movement. The Pakistan resolution of 1940 gave a formal structure of the Muslim League's demand for a separate homeland. Point number one, it transformed the League from a minority rights organization to one demanding independence. Point number two, it united Muslims under the vision of Pakistan. Point number three, this resolution became the ideological foundation of the Pakistan movement. Point number four. What did the August offer of 1940 include? I mean, what was that? The August offer. The August offer proposed the inclusion of more Indians in the Viceroy's Executive Council. This was proposed by Viceroy Linlithgow. So this is point number one. It promised to set up a post-war representative body to frame a constitution. Point number two, the British assumed that minorities' rights would be protected in any future settlement. Point number three, however, both Congress and Muslim League rejected the August offer. It was presented in August 1940. That's what is known as August offer. Describe the role of Allama Iqbal in the development of two-nation theory. Allama Iqbal emphasized that Muslims were a distinct nation with their own culture, religion, and history. Point number one. In his 1930s Allahabad address, he proposed the creation of a separate Muslim state in the northwestern India. Point number two. He believed Muslims needed political independence for spiritual and cultural growth. Point number three, his ideas shaped the foundation of two-nation theory. Point number four. What were the key features of the two-nation theory? The two-nation theory stated that Hindus and Muslims were two separate nations. Point number one. It emphasized their differences in religion, culture, and values. Point number two. This theory argued that Muslims needed their own state to preserve their identity. Point number three, it was the ideological basis for the demand of Pakistan. Point number four. So, who were the major leaders involved in the Simla Conference of 1945? The Simla Conference involved Lord Wavell, the Viceroy of the subcontinent at that time, along with the leaders of the Indian National Congress and the Muslim League. Point number one. Key figures included Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah and Jawaharlal Nehru. Point number two. The conference aimed to discuss the Wavell Plan. Point number three. It failed due to the disagreement over Muslim representation, as Congress forced that whole of the subcontinent was represented by Congress only, and there was no other political party to represent any other community of the subcontinent. So, what proposals were made in the Wavell Plan of 1945? As per this plan, the Simla Conference was happened. The Wavell Plan proposed reconstitution of the Viceroy's Executive Council to include Indian leaders from different communities. Point number one, it suggested equal representation of caste, Hindus, and Muslims. It allowed Indian leaders to choose their own representatives. Point number three. However, Congress opposed the idea of recognizing the League as the sole Muslim representative. Point number four, and that was the reason of the rejection of the Wavell Plan by Indian National Congress. Describe the events that followed the failure of Simla Conference. After the Simla Conference failed, communal tension grew between Hindus and Muslims. Point number one. The Muslim League gained popularity among Muslims for standing firm on their rights. Point number two. Congress' refusal to accept that Muslims' demand uh, hardened the divisions. Even the relations got worsened. Point number three, British efforts to find a united constitutional solution weakened, paving the way for the partition. Point number four. What was the significance of the 1945 elections for the Pakistan movement? The Muslim League won most of the Muslim seats in the 1945-46 elections, proving its claim as the sole representative of Indian Muslims. Point number one. Congress dominated Hindu constituencies or Hindu majority areas. Point number two, the results gave political strength to the League's demand for Pakistan, as this particular election was fought only on a single agenda, that achieving Pakistan. The British and Congress had to accept the League's role in future negotiation. Point number four. So it means that Muslim League was able to gain his position and able to gain his the Muslim world in these elections. The Muslim League was able to gain its position that it had the greater role in the politics of the subcontinent for protecting Muslim rights. Who led the interim government of 1946 and what were its main issues? Jawaharlal Nehru led the interim government formed in 1946 after the elections. The Muslim League initially refused to join but later did so under pressure. Deep mistrust and constant agreement existed between Congress and League ministers. The interim government failed to function effectively due to the communal tension. Again, 4 points are there in this paragraph. What was the purpose of Lord Mountbatten's appointment as Viceroy of the subcontinent in 1947? So this is the next question. Lord Mountbatten was appointed to facilitate British withdrawal and ensure a peaceful transfer of power to the Indians. Point number one, he was tasked with negotiating a final settlement with Indian leaders. Point number two, he worked to speed up the partition process. Number three, his appointment led to the announcement of the 3rd June plan for the partition. Point number four. So he was the one who drafted that plan, and that was the partition of India plan. Describe the 3rd June plan of 1947. The 3rd June plan proposed the partition of India into two independent dominions, India and Pakistan. It allowed provinces like Punjab and Bengal to vote on partition. Point number two, princely states were given the choice to join either dominion, either country. Point number three, the plan was accepted by both Congress and Muslim League. So that was the partition plan of India that led to the creation of Pakistan. What were the main provisions of the Indian Independence Act of 1947? This is what we talked about, that the implementation of 3rd June plan is known as the Indian Independence Act of 1947, because of which India was given independence. The act declared that India would be divided into two dominions, India and Pakistan. Point number one, it guaranteed full legislative powers to both the new countries. Point number two, British rule would end on 15th of August 1947. Point number three, the princely states were free to join either dominion or remain independent. Point number four. What problems were faced by Pakistan immediately after independence in 1947? Pakistan faced a refugee crisis. Number one, as millions of Muslims migrated from India to Pakistan, it had no proper government structure or administrative setup. Point number two, there were financial difficulties due to the delaying payments from India. Point number three, additionally, there was a shortage of skilled officials and housing for the migrants. That was point number four. Who was Qaid Azam and what was his role in the creation of Pakistan? this can be a really very easy question for everyone. Qazi Muhammad Ali Jinnah was the leader of the All India Muslim League. Point number one, he advocated for the separate rights of Muslims and led the Pakistan movement. Point number two, his negotiations, speeches, leadership made Pakistan's creation possible. Point number three, he became the first Governor General of Pakistan after independence. Point number four. What was the role of Congress during the 1945-46 elections? Congress contested the elections as the main Hindu party and won the majority of non-Muslim seats. Point number one, it claimed to represent all Indians, including Muslims, which the League opposed. Point number two, Congress formed provincial governments in Hindu majority areas or provinces. Point number three, its success maintained its dominance but also confirmed the Muslim League's separate support base. So, point number four. Describe the reaction of the Muslim League to the Cabinet Mission Plan. Initially, the Muslim League accepted the Cabinet Mission Plan as it gave autonomy to Muslim majority areas. Point number one. However, it later rejected it when Congress refused to accept the grouping. Point number two, provincial grouping, Muslim majority provinces, Hindu majority provinces, and Assam and Bengal. The League withdrew from talks and called for direct action day. Point number three, this marked a shift towards demanding a separate state more forcefully. Point number four. What was the impact of communal riots during 1946-47 or on the partition decision? Communal riots, especially after Direct Action Day, caused massive violence between Hindus and the Muslims. Point number one. Cities like Calcutta and Noakhali saw thousands of deaths. Point number two. These riots made it clear that coexistence was no longer possible. Point number three. They pushed British and Indian leaders to accept partition as the only solution. Point number four. So, students, here I explained about, you may say, about 24, 25 questions of 4 marks, which might be coming up in your exams, whether part A of question 2, 3, 4, 5, or part A of question number 1, the compulsory one. If it comes as the compulsory question, then you are supposed to attempt it for 3 marks and you are supposed to write 3 points for that. So up to this point, this is over from my side. Do not forget to subscribe my channel RU Speaks. Raja Umar is signing off. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.